Welcome to episode 2 of the Cloudberry series. Today we're diving into something exciting, how to convert an image into speech using AWS. Let's get started.
Well, that wasn't actually me, it was Daniel from Amazon Poly, and today we're going to design an architecture diagram using this service along with another AI services to convert an image into speech. And by the end of the episode, we're going to take a quick look to some of these services on the AWS console. So let's get started. So let's start by building our diagram. First, we're going to drag the AWS cloud to represent the core of our architecture. Next, we'll add the AWS Amplify, which connects the client to the AWS. After that, we'll bring Cognito for user authentication and secure temporary access to the Amazon S3 bucket, where the image will be stored. And then we'll look for the standard S3. So, okay, here we go. After that, we'll add the API gateway, which manages the requests from the app and passes them along to the other AWS services. So, we're gonna add it here. Now, we'll drag in the AWS step functions, which will orchestrate the workflow. So, group with icons, and here we'll look for, okay, that's it. The AWS step function. That's it. Also, we need to add the AWS Lambda for triggering the AI and machine learning services. So we're gonna look for AWS Lambda. Just like that. Okay, that's it. And then we'll include text track for extracting text from the image. And then we'll add Amazon recognition for identifying objects. Amazon SageMaker for machine learning tasks. Now we'll add Amazon Translate. Now Poly. And again S3. Okay. Standard. So, okay. Here I'm gonna add SDK and the users. So now that we've added all the components to our diagram, let's link them together step by step. Let's start here. And now we'll connect the mobile client to AWS through the AWS SDK. Here I'm gonna draw a link between the mobile app and AWS Amplify. Well, Amplify helps manage this connection seamlessly so the app can interact with the cloud services without much complexity. Now let's connect the AWS Amplify to Amazon Cognito. Cognito will authenticate the user and provide temporary secure access to the S3 bucket. So I'm gonna draw a line from the Cognito to the S3 bucket. Like that. Now the user is authenticated so they can upload their image. Now that the image is uploaded, so the backend app called Describe4Me needs to call several AI services. So this is done through the API gateway, which manages requests between the client and AWS services. So I'm gonna connect the S3 bucket to the API gateway like that. At this stage, API gateway triggers the AWS step function workflow. So let's now link the API gateway to the step function, and within the workflow will orchestrate multiple AI and machine learning services like Amazon Textract, Recognition, SageMaker, Translate, and Poly. So I'll go ahead and connect each of these services to the workflow. We're gonna start like this. And here. Like this. Once all the AI services process the image, step function will generate an audio file using Amazon Poly. The audio file is then stored in the S3. So here there is a connection between Amazon Poly and S3. And finally, the audio file stored in the S3 will return to the user via a pre-signed URL. So I'll connect the step function. So from the step function to the API gateway, which will then send the URL to the user's mobile device so that the user can play the audio directly from that link. And like that. And now we complete our diagram. So we've successfully linked all the components showing how the image is uploaded, processed, by various AI services and finally returned to the user as an audio file. So let's take a look in the AWS console to some services like Amazon Poly. That we've built our architecture diagram, let's take a quick look at some of the AWS services that we've used. Mainly, we're gonna see Amazon Textract, Amazon Translate, and Amazon Poly. So let's start with Textract. That's it. Okay. Try Amazon Textract. So this service extracts text from images. You have an example here, for example. And as part of our workflow, it plays a key role in identifying and pulling out the text from uploaded images. Here, for example, you can choose another document, for example, vaccination card, or you can also upload your document. So, for example, here we can see all the informations in the document. And now we can move to Amazon Translate. That's it. This service is responsible for translating the extracted text into different languages. And it's so useful when we need to work with different content. So as an example, I can just like that. Okay, here for example, he's gonna detect the language, and then the target language. For example, I'm gonna choose French. And here you can find the translated text. There are different additional settings that you can modify. And finally, we're gonna take a look at Amazon Poly. That's it. No. Okay. So Amazon Poly converts the processed text into lifelike speech. So for example, we're gonna you can choose this text, or we're gonna proceed with the same previous text. So here you have different options. For example, let's try this one, and let's change the voice, for example, or we can just listen to this one.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Cloudberry series. Today, we're diving into something exciting: how to convert an image into speech using AWS. Let's get started.
Okay, now we can try the long form.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Cloudberry series. Today, we're diving into something exciting: how to convert an image into speech using AWS. Let's get started.
For example, here we're gonna change the voice. Okay.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Cloudberry series. Today, we're diving into something exciting: how to convert an image into speech using AWS. Let's get started.
and the standard. Okay, another voice, for example.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Cloudary series. Today, we're diving into something
Like
exciting,
Robert T.
how to convert an image into speech using AWS. Let's get started.
And that was just a quick look at the services Amazon Textract, Amazon Translate, and Poly. And in future episodes, we'll dive deeper into each of these services, exploring how they work in more detail and how you can use them to build similar workflows.